Hey everybody, Gaming Mama here. Hey everybody, Gaming Mama here. Up we go. Oh, hello. And woo! All the toys. Lots of bouncy balls. Because that's what Princess Ryan demands. Lots of bouncy balls. Lots of tires. Gotta keep them entertained. Let's go get our chimpanzees. We're gonna get a bunch of male chimps. And a bunch of female chimps. This is the glory of sandbox mode. You don't have to worry about money. You can just
I did dodge a lava bullet. I did.
That's some quick thinking on my part. Yes, on Steam. Yep. Alright, going down really, really fast. Slowing down. Hopefully we still have enough momentum to get through all of this. Whee! Oh, I didn't realize that banked like that. Okay, interesting. Sibs, I did too. That's actually why I love Planet Coaster.
Zombie.
Oh my gosh, there's lots of zombies in there. Okay. Not good, not good. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. It's amazing the creativity a lot of people have when it comes to creating content for games. It's amazing. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I prefer PC gaming over console gaming for some things, because of the mods and the community created content that you can find for these different games. Oh. Okay, so these are good. Really bad. I've seen it go one of. Let's see. Woot! Look at this! Diamonds and gold and
Oh
lapis.
my god, what are those?
Okay. Scared. So we pop it open. And we got a bunch of rainbow sheep. Which is actually kind of cool. So we now have at least one sheep, literally of every color.
So again, with my trusty torch, I go off for adventure. Ooh, gold.
Ow! No! 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 Damn it! One night! One! Hey everybody, Gaming Mama here. Give me just a moment, I'm having a little trouble getting the game loaded up. Really. Are we doing stuff? Oh, there we go. Okay. So tonight we are playing a game. Well, we're attempting to play a game called The Stanley Parable. It is a freebie on Epic this week. But I'm having a little trouble getting it started. So, may end up changing games. Not sure. Let's see. If I can get the game
I'm red. Yeah, it has been a day. I will just leave it at that. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. It's probably because of my green screen. Brightness a little. That's helping much. Let me see if changing the light quality changes anything. Hold on. Oh. Maybe fixed? Nope, it's no, okay, it's just when I'm back here. So let me grab my light thingy here. Let's try. Nope, that was power. Maybe I'll have to. I can't sit a whole lot closer. I'm already pretty much on top of my monitors as is. So, I don't know. So, I am streaming a game called The Stanley Parable. It looks good on me? Yeah. Look like I'm somewhere. I spent a lot of time outside today, apparently. So, I have no idea what this game is about. It's a freebie on Epic. I've heard about it, but I don't know what it's like. So we're going to be experimenting with this together. So Roblox says it's really cool, so let's give it a try. End is never the end, is never the end, is loading never. Is loading? Hello, Misko! I'm not sure if that lurk emote means you're going to be lurking, but if you are lurking, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. It does. Okay. I kind of figured. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it, Misko. I hope you're feeling better. Get some rest. Eat some foods. I mean it. And we have all with a headband wearing coffee. That's because there's no noise from the game. Oh, it might not be. That one? Should pop up a black screen. Cheeky Misko is sick quite often. The lurk emote has lurk in the text. It's the only time I mean them as lurks. Otherwise, I use them as hiding or whatever. Right, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, Misko is often not feeling well, and that's okay. Where did my game go? Here a second ago? I don't know what happened to my game. Oh, well, I have some of it back. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Maybe we're getting back? Hello?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day every month of every year.
So, thank you
And
again for the
although
lurk.
others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Interesting.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
And I think that's where, I think that's where we take control. But let me see if I can get this screen over here fixed real quick. I have to Alt-Tab out. That way you guys can see at least a little bit more of the game. Kind of center right here. Well, let's go ahead, since it's going to be small screen anyway. Put it up above our bar here. That way you guys can see the whole screen. Even though it is littler than it usually is, at least you can see the whole screen. So, interesting premise so far. I'm assuming mouse is going to be look around and WADS is going to be move, because that's how it is in most games. See if I can get my game to come back up. There we go. Okay, so yeah, mouse is look around. Got some papers here. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's glitched out or if that's how it's supposed to be for the game. No, see, theirs is glitched too. So I think that's just how the board looks. Can we open anything? Yeah, I'm just kind of clicking to see if I can actually click on anything. I can.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to.
Stanley needs help.
He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Okay. Okay, so did I die? Yeah, apparently Stanley died. Okay. What happens when you close the door and just don't investigate, I guess?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Don't spoil the game for me, okay? Explore it. You.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Wow. I guess this guy's job was to sharpen the pencils? Because that's literally all he had on his desk is a pencil sharpener. Oh, somebody's computer has... Oh. Shit, I just turned it off, I think. Move the chair, but apparently that's not a thing I can do. Damn it. Like, you don't have an actual cursor on the screen. So I have no idea what I'm clicking on when I click.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office.
You
but
bet
it
I
didn't make
did!
a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I'm not sure what... I think it's supposed to say smile? That coffee cup? And then that one says, I like... work? I just hate my boss. I like work, I just hate my boss. Got it, okay. Sorry, reading coffee cups. Because, you know, that's my thing. And then of course there's I hate Monday. Ooh, what did mine say? Oh. Apparently I can't go back in my office. Okay. Yes, it did. Painting. Okay. This room doesn't have a number on it. Or cubicles, 420. Okay, can I... No, I can't move the chair. Let's just turn that computer off. Save energy, you know. Be my... Excuse me, be my Valentine. Aww. That one also says who farted. Can I get in the copy room? I can't get into the copy room. Awaiting input. Input received. Username. The username is access. Okay. What time is it? It is like not quite 11:30. Okay. Get in this room? I can't get in that room. I have no idea where the meeting room is supposed to be. That is actually kind of a cool picture. That's really neat. Right, can I get in that room? No, I can't get in that room. Another I hate Mondays and a fallen comrade that says L. I'm sure it says more than that, but all I can read is L, so. Can't get into any of the files. That kind of looks like the first one, only with more clouds. That looks like stuff. Can I get in? I can't get in there. Meeting room?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But maybe I won't.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Employee lounge, so you gotta have coffee, right? I gotta go get my cup of coffee first. Ooh, their light design. You gotta know me. I'm gonna go the opposite route. Why the heck are all the rooms locked? Get into any of the files.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Actually, it's not that bad of a lounge, to be honest. What does that one say? Number one?
Yes,
Yeah.
really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Can't open the blinds. Like the same
At
4 or
this
5
point,
photographs.
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Oh. That's why everybody left?
Stanley
Fuel!
sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Wonder how long I can stay in this room until the game gets mad at me. There's no coffee though, that's sad. The coffee nut. I think that one is just a... Oh, no, it says something. But it's facing the wall, so I can't tell. From here, it looks like no. But I can't tell. And I don't know how leaning my head helps. But, you know, it does. And no coffee, no... Can't get around to the other side of this table here to see what these ones say. I know the broken coffee cup back there now says fuel. There's a repeat cup right here. Why can't I pick anything up? That's kind of frustrating. Alright, I'll continue on.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the
Of the
first open
amazing
door
room.
on his left to get back to business.
Like, the narration and stuff of this reminds me a lot of Hitchhiker's Guide. Does it not? Like, just kind of that, like, sarcastic, move along now kind of narration. Here's an open door. I don't know if I want to go that way. Caution, do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. I feel the same way, dang it.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
A warning, do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. Okay, but can you jump from it when it's not in motion? And you'll be fine?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Her who? To say. Urgent. Employees should never, under any circumstances, attempt to... something. Well, let's hope I never do that. Whatever it is. Dang it! Ooh, can I go backwards? Take me back down, zombie boy. Dang it. Should I jump just to see what it does? I mean, I can't literally jump. Like, there is no jump button. Wait, should I fall down?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
That's right. Show you have power, you must kill yourself. I'm not sure that's quite how martyrdom works, but you know. Alright. Oh, and it starts me clearing the hell back of my desk.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
You sure are. Oh, apparently I hate Mondays as well. The fact that the light is going on the phone bothers me. Makes me want to answer it. Alright, is this input still inputted? No, wrong computer, right?
Was it the next room? Oh yeah, you're right. There it is. Okay. Input received. I just did. But I could turn that one off. Oh, I can turn that one off. Well, I must be in order so far because it hasn't reset, so... And it was this one before. It moved.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, now, the question is, do I want to go right again? Or should I go left? See what's left. Alright, we'll try left this time. See what happens. Oh!
There it is.
Employee of the Year. I'm guessing that's the creator of the game. Ooh, did they all do that? Or just the leaf one? Just the leaf ones.
There are a few, but
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
That's a lot of meetings. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard. There's a whiteboard manager? Yeah. Targets, push for funding, not cost efficient, get Chris out of the broom closet. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are to synergize, so apparently fire the paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy who moved my desk. Okay, well then. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda. Write next day's agenda. Reflect. I'll go back to the one, Boss Appreciation Minute. Okay. I want the tips for not getting fired. That one back. Whoever's controlling it, bring back the tips. Dang it! Why did we hire you? Oh, this is great. I love this. What are your dreams for the future? Mitosis? Charts, comatose, clear skin, less air. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less, do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day,
Stanley
with no
just
exception
stood there
of
doing
promotion
nothing
or
at all.
recognition.
He seems to think I have
Don't
nothing
get
better
fired.
to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on the text. This will ensure, everyone is unique. You, most of all. Things, money, more money, things, but with money to buy more things? Okay. Profits, 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 profits. Bi-quarterly post-review review.
100%.
We need reviews. We need less reviews. 402 plus 405 want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule. But I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers, more water heater, or more water cooler heater. Wait, water cooler heaters? Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demograph. Find teenagers to put in teenage demograph. Some sort of child trap? Oh. Work harder, hard worker. Oh, what is this? Throw something in the ideas bin. No more bins / trash cans. Renaming of the idea on? Or I think that's supposed to be can. 3, firing of me.
Yes.
Okay.
Ew.
Oh, hello. Better safe than profits. A business club. What does that say? References are not all they're cracked up to be. Okay then. Back of this one say anything? Oh, hello. Can I? Oh, no. Okay. Close it. Chris! You in there? Oh. Chris is not in the room.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet,
Oh,
but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I'm doing nothing. I'm doing everything except turning around.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
It's not
no
empty.
reason to still be here.
It has a shelf with a bunch of cool stuff on it that I want to grab, but I can't.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything.
Close the game.
At least if there was
Open the
something
door.
to interact
Close
with,
the door.
he'd be
Open the
justified
door.
in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Well, if that's the case. Ooh. Dang it. There's a fire hose.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Talking to myself in my
For
head.
example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh my
Why
god.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Oh.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh
Then
shit.
he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical
Whee!
starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Apparently.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people,
Because it's in
their
a
dreams,
dream, that's
the
why.
truth was that, of course,
Didn't you see me
this was
levitating
not
a second ago?
How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't
is
have to take
before now.
responsibility for himself?
It'd be 2 before,
Stanley
didn't
is
it?
as awake right now as
Maybe
he's
not.
ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
Wife? I have a wife?
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
I am normal.
Everything will be fine.
Everything is awesome.
I am okay.
And I'm still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Dang it! I think I died again. And apparently my camera froze.
This
Yay.
is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Please, I don't want to go back there. You don't know what it's like to be considered a freak.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
But that's why we gotta
She
stick
arose,
together.
got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension,
Yeah, I know I
the
am,
rest of
Nevitz.
her
Give me a
life.
second and I'll get it
She had no
fixed.
time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay then. So I have to alt tab out of the game for a second to fix my camera because it froze on me. Give me just a second. Aha, you're funny, Nevitz. By the way, thank you for resubscribing. I appreciate that. I did see that. I was just trying to pay attention to the story there. So, alright, let me see if I can get my camera going again. Whee, I'm upside down! And hopefully in just a second I will be right side up. Yay! There I am! Okay. So I now have found 2 deaths. One was because I just stayed in my office forever and ever and ever. And one because I apparently committed suicide. And now there are papers literally everywhere on the floor. And my sign is now legible. Okay. Different. Yeah, spider give me mama.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be.
Oh my god, it froze
Stanley
again.
just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone.
Alone. Hold on, sorry. I alt tabbed out again. I need this. Switch over to this one real quick. We need to reposition it, so give me just a second here. To switch cameras. The new one is nice. It's got a clearer picture, but apparently has issues with the freezing of things. So we'll go with this camera for right now until I can figure out what's going on. Other camera.
Again.
Okay. Alright, so we have papers all over the floor, but things are readable now. Like the numbers and stuff are all readable. Let's turn off the computers. Computer. I've gotten 2 endings, technically. Well, I got the standing in my office, and then the suicide.
Oh.
2.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, but we're gonna go right this time and make a different.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
And we're not gonna spend quite as much time in here as we did before because we have already seen it.
What a beautiful, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, so before we went straight. This time, should I go this way? Or should I go the other way first? So how are you doing in our current apocalypse situation? Well, it's actually not technically an apocalypse.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
I think I want to go down the lift. And to be honest, Nevitz, I'm not doing 100% great, but thank you for asking. This is the shortcut, right? Uh-oh. Loading.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
I want to go right, dang it. Dang it, but.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Now, this is called the Stanley Parable.
Down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay. Okay, so this is a game called the Stanley Parable. It is a freebie on Epic. So far it's kind of interesting and freaking hilarious. Okay, so we're gonna go even deeper into the bowels. Whoa. What the...
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Play fire. Oh. So that was another, and actually, yeah, he does kind of sound like the one from Little Big Planet. The narrator actually reminds me a lot of the, Hitchhiker's Guide narrator. And yes, now we are in the Matrix. What? There?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I mean, for all I know, it could be the same guy in all of them. Oh, I didn't turn computers off in that other room. Dang it. Yeah, the input computer's not on, though. I go. Oh, I can still go backwards. Yay, let's go turn off computers. This. Ah.
When standing... Wait, what? No,
Yeah?
No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Right?
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
But I can't. There's chairs in the way.
Story.
Oh,
There are chairs in the way of that one. Alright. We have choices. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that the side doors meet up with each other. There's hallways that look like they connect. There. Ooh, I almost accidentally made a choice right there.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No!
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh, dang it. I should have made the decision faster. Yeah, but I would have been able to get further.
All of his co-workers were
Oh yeah,
gone.
they are different.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait a second. Yeah, okay, never mind. That is the same couple. Perch. Oh, excuse me. And now there are no doors.
It's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just
so a quick
came
IMDb
from.
check reveals this is not the same guy, but the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Little Big Planet 3 narrators are the same guy. Okay, so Hitchhiker's Guide and Little Big Planet, they are the same guy, but they are not the same guy that does this game. Okay. And I totally missed what the narrator said, so... Going backwards. Uh-oh. Ceiling caved in right there. Back to my office.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Not the hallway that leads to my, hello? I don't want to go in circles. Hello? If we close that door? Dang it. Kevin brightening is the soothing voice that you're hearing. Okay. It sounds an awful lot the same, but it's not the same guy. Okay.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
I don't think this is where we're supposed to be.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all.
Yeah.
Is this the story? I don't think so. I
Might be.
can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Hello?
Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Excuse me. And I was so close to... huh? I now have a very strict yellow line I need to follow, apparently. It's the Stanley Parable Adventure line. That sounds like a horrible, like, 70s children's cartoon. The Stanley Parable Adventure line. Stanley Parable Adventure line.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line.
Adventure line!
How simple is that?
Okay. We still have to turn off the computers, though. Oh, wait. Oh, there we go. Okay, there it is. Okay, and then in here... Wait a second. I've never gone that way before. That one might have to become a clip, yeah? Screw the adventure line. Routine.
No, I'm done. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
I'm done. Leaving it up to the line. Okay. Alright, fine. I'll follow the line. Ooh, solitaire. No, let me in. Let me in. Dang it. Stupid heavy chair won't let me past it. 4B6? Is it? That's why he reminds me of the Hitchhiker's Guide.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction.
Okay.
Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
To destiny.
Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Okay, give me just a second, guys. I have to deal with this. I have no idea. Slow down. I'm going off path here. But I went against the line. I'm so confused. Run up the wall! I did it. I did it! Oh. Jump over the chair, and I can't do it, so. Wall. What? Yeah, me too. Monthly ledgers, corporate imbalances, annual reviews, consolidation reports, departmental accounts, corporate imbalances, financial records. I know. Get back through here. Yeah, see, that's like straight through, whereas this one's got stairs. Or you can go this way, personnel files, budget analysis. Whee! Employee 432 peer reviews. Holy crap, what the hell is wrong with employee 432? Hey, he's got a whole room dedicated. Holy crap. I think I want to meet employee 432. Oh wait! You did ultimately end up here, so it's true. A whole warehouse, yep.
Cut the music. Go
Thank
back
God.
and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Nice green color. Got some fat leaves and some thin leaves. Got some tall branches and some short ones. It's almost as tall as I am. Maybe not quite, but almost. Nice firm soil. Yep, absolutely. Nice firm soil. Yeah, it kind of does look like it's like maybe 3 different plants all in together. Because you got like these hard grass right here in the middle. And then you've got the big fat leaves. And and then the super thin ones. I think it's 3 different plants all together. Oh yeah, over here. You're right, that is. Oh yeah, because they got a different shape and everything. Darn sexy leaves. Or, fine. On to adventure!
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Stanley Parable Adventure Line! Alright, well that one goes into a room we can't get into now. That way leads backwards. Could go this way now. Yeah. 432. I remember that number. It's ingrained in my head now. Where is door 4? Well, I think all these doors back here aren't even numbered. So... Alright, this is the only other way we can go. That's right. That's what we're gonna look for it. Nope, that's that room again. I don't want to go in that room.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted
I'm looking
you,
for 432.
after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with
There
it.
he is, right down there at the bottom.
Restart.
Ah, dang it! Dang it! Next room. No! Alright, well, we know where 432 is in there now, so we should be able to see it sooner. There's 430. There's no 432? 432! He's the pencil sharpener! Dun dun dun!
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Alright. We'll go 437. Alright.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
There we go. What? Uh-oh.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley,
The
I'd also
lion
like
found
to
its way
veto the
to
line
us.
from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Don't acknowledge it. Okay. Just don't follow the line. Don't follow line.
Pay attention to me.
It went back. It went back up into the ceiling.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How
Dang right it is.
important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
I can do that.
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits.
Come, Stanley. The
Oh,
confusing
hold on, what's
ending.
this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this,
Simply
this
black
thing,
space.
wall.
Get bored
Well,
and leave.
Who consulted me?
After a
Why don't I
long
get to
time,
decide?
Stanley
Why don't
dies.
I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever
I
it
think the game
is
is
that
going to
made this
restart on
schedule?
its own.
How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the
True.
destination or the journey. Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope
Nonsense,
that's
philosophy,
where we are
and
right
music.
now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do happen to have a...
And the game restarted on its own. Did I call that or what? Here's my paws.
Oh my gosh.
Here's my paws.
That's my pet.
Alright, no line this time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
What you got there?
Not a sock. Going to the meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, it is.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. Into the
Stanley
warehouse
was so
we go.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story... What? Really? I was in the middle of something.
Danger
You have
ev-
zero
Really? I was
consideration
in
for
the middle.
others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Did it really? It
Let me
didn't on
prove
my
it.
end.
Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Alright, this is all new.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I'm gonna go to the blue door. Ha ha ha. Yeah, no, it's not editing it for me. Galactic, do you have a chat filter on? Because if you do, then that might be why it's working for you and nobody else.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Wait,
Stanley walked through the red door.
blue.
No. Ed.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Blue.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Where do it?
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you.
Yep.
If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This
Okay.
whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this
Dang
party
right I
train
am.
rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
All right. Oh. The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard, huh? Interesting. Take the third door again?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Yeah, it kind of did, actually.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Of course not.
Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Hey, go put it back, please. Loading. So far, this is a very interesting game. I'm tempted.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You
Tempted
click the
to just play
button
it
to move
through?
him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a
Okay.
very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Okay.
Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Okay. That's an annoying sound, isn't it? Bye-bye, baby.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's
Both?
the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Ooh, what are we going to be playing now? Loading. Loading.
Well,
Minecraft!
Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A
Right.
game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that,
I can't.
Stanley.
Oh.
Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Do it. Oh,
This
right in front of me.
will go here, no, here, and then.
That's a crappy house.
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes.
A door. That's right.
It's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Got the sounds and everything. That's hilarious.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond
Ooh.
everything. Yes. Come on,
Diamond
Stanley.
everything.
We have to go mining.
Okay, go mining. I wonder if people who've never played Minecraft would understand this.
You brought a light?
It's not actually Minecraft, honey. Deeper we go.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Dang it! Aw, but there was a zombie! Yeah, I was playing Minecraft, dang it.
Yes, I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Flushing the... Oh.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
I believe it is free, still free on Epic Launcher until Wednesday. Alright, so what am I supposed to do? That on there?
Genius.
Oh? Did I miss? Did I screw it up? There we go.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt...
I broke it again.
Oh, you broke it.
I did, I broke it. Work in progress, filing cabinets. The Stanley Parable Alpha Test. Please rate your experience. A lot of this is very dark. It's hard to see some of it. Oh! Yeah, see? There's a hole there. Oh? Hello? I'm just kind of wandering at this point because I don't think there really is a end game here. Bless you. Oh, light. There we go. That's progress. Light is progress, right? Maybe. Dang it. Oh, computer. Hey, it's my room. 427. That's me, right? Sounds like I'm clicking on the computer even when I'm not looking at the computer. Oh,
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
where's the end? There it is. But the end is never the end. So,
Gotten another ending.
all right.
By the way, there.
Why I figured.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Good. That's the first one I grabbed.
What happened though?
I don't know, like maybe it's gonna be an achievement or something.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well, get him off my bed! Go! Don't let him do that, you guys. I'm going this way.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh, fancy. Fancy. Ooh, what's this? The executive bathroom? Oh, that door won't shut. Woo! Found another one. Holy office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Alright, sediments exactly. Oh, spark. Loading. The big bosses do get their own private bathroom. Yeah, more often than not. And apparently their own private library. Full of books that they either never have, never will, or cannot read.
Hey, secret elevator.
Hello,
Descending
Mimnock.
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Alright, so secret elevator from the boss's office into a secret basement?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Control. Ooh. Escape!
Oh.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Woohoo! I wonder how violent death is.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around
Trying to
and get
convince
back
me to
on
go
track.
backwards.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward
Yep.
and willingly confront his death.
Yep. You want to see just how violent it's gonna be. Ooh, are we gonna fall? Whee! Loading. I think? Maybe? Nope, falling.
As the
We're
machine
moving.
whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Push.
So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Push.
Farewell, Stanley.
Here we go.
No.
Squish. Squish. Oh, wait.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly
Oh.
into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
But not?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. So that's our office. That's the computer I turn off. That's another computer I turn off, and that one as well. And then the two doors. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in a good time.
That part's been gone.
The two doors. The set of two doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parables design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it. An exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Island cabinets, the beautiful artwork. Yep, nature paintings. Stanley's computer. Office computers, these are the ones I keep turning off.
Got to actually turn.
That's true, I did, huh? Like, general desk.
The Office. I don't think so. Nope. Button sounds. A selection of a sound used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Beep beep. And then credits. Doo-doo-doo. Yep, there it is. Kevin Brightening as the narrator. The impeccable Kevin Brightening. The Office. What is this? The maintenance room. This is an early version of the maintenance room. Yeah, it kind of did, huh? Oh, the copier. Slash cubicle wall. Hold on, before I go upstairs, let me come see what's over here. Because there was a set of stairs there. What's this? The boss's office. Scenes from the development of the boss's office. So, I'm guessing it kind of went from this to that to that. Kind of cool to see how that kind of stuff progresses. The office clock. But the clocks? Do they really? This. The employee lounge. The very posh employee lounge. An early version of the underground portion of the game. Oh, I see the difference that they... Yeah, okay. I like the change they made there, where they went with the, like, propped up wood with the written escape on it. I like that. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brightening, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final. Yeah, they are really, really quiet. If you want to listen to those, you'll have to get the game for yourself from the Epic Launcher, free until Wednesday evening. Let's see, what is this? Freedom Ending. This is the very first incarnation of the Freedom Ending in the game's alpha. So apparently you can get outside. Whoa. The Countdown Desk? One of the desks from an early version of the Countdown Ending? Interesting. This is the Freedom Ending as it existed in beta. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the 2 endings together instead. Interesting. This is the countdown room, apparently, which we have not seen. That's one of the endings that we have not gotten. The Zending. This screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Right.
That looks like...
I was gonna say, it kind of looks Portal-ish. Zending levers. Oh, maybe not, because we did the Portal part and we didn't see levers.
No.
These levers were originally a part of the Zending. These players would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color lever they had pulled. Okay. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the 4th version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch.
Is that
The escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this was what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. Right. So that's kind of cool. This is like a behind behind the scenes kind of thing, which is really cool. Oh, it froze on me. But I still hear walking. I think the game just crashed on me. Yep, game just crashed. Dang it! Alright, let me see. Oh, come on. Let me see if I can get this to shut down. If I can reopen it maybe? Close window. Yeah, I might have to control delete it because I think it's crash, like giving me big issues. So give me just a second. I'm gonna control delete this. Task manager. So there's obviously a lot of behind the scenes stuff once you get that ending, that particular ending. At least I'm assuming it's an ending. So if you guys want to take more of a walk through that museum and see more of that behind the scenes stuff, like I said, on the Epic Launcher, it is free until Wednesday. It's ownable. You have it forever as long as you have an Epic account. Processes. Bad sign when task. There we go. Yeah, see, Stanley is not responding. So let's go ahead and shut that down. Here we go. Alright, since I shut down the game, it should automatically pull my launcher back up. Okay, come on, computer. Catch up with me here. Okay, let's see if we can get Epic to pop up again. It usually automatically pops up when you close an Epic game. Yeah, see, there it is. Okay. Getting this to pop up. Bear with me. Just a moment, you guys. Trying to get my Epic Launcher to be pulled up. It kind of has to do this whole loading thing. So, give me just a second here. Why is it always the loading? Loading, 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 loading. Oh my gosh, this is taking forever to load. What the heck? Come on. Ooh, white screen. There we go. Alright, Stanley Parable. Launch. Okay, I hit launch, so it should pop up here in just a second. However long it takes Epic Games to load, you know. Alright, and it should automatically pop up for you guys as well. But we will see. Galactic Cafe. They make some pretty fun games, apparently. If they have any other games, and they're even remotely close to Stanley Parable, they're a good company. I like them. Thank you for bearing with me, you guys. We'll see if we can't maybe get a couple more endings before... Door out. before we call it a night. If we can get the game to open back up. Oh, I unlocked an achievement apparently. Welcome back. Alright, begin the game. End is never the end, is never the end. Wow, this is taking a very long time to load. Don't hurt your sister. There we go. We're
This
gonna
is
click
the
to
story.
skip because we've already done that. This is the story of Stanley. Now, June did
All
say
of his
something about
co-workers
clicking on the
were gone.
window.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting
Going
room.
through the
Perhaps
window?
he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Here?
There should be that will allow you to get. There it is.
Okay, but I can't go anywhere else from here. Maybe it's a bug that they fixed.
There is a specific for it.
Are you sure it's this window?
Yeah. Other windows, and that desk in particular. Ouch.
There we go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
Right.
He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we
Very
take
bright,
a minute
that's for
just
sure.
to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
That's funny. Yes, I am aware how escape works.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Can I get
No
up there
matter
again?
how hard Stanley
There we go.
looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
And in we go again.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
This time we're
He
going to say
then
yes.
praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
Savage Kid, hello.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want.
Thank you so much for the
right
follow. I
now.
appreciate that. Thank you.
You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate
Hello.
time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
The Meat Boys are surrounding the baby.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
Yeah.
You too will become quite unbearable.
Savage Kid, thank you so much. I appreciate the compliment. I actually kind of like this music. It's like very calm and not bad. I know, he's trying to make me miserable, but I'm actually like, okay. And my guess is going to be no matter how long I sit here, it's just going to keep playing this little loop again and again. Let's go ahead and restart. Alright, so this time we're going to go this
All of
way.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, so we are going to be going into the mind control facility this time. Because
Yet
last
there
time
was
we
not a
escaped,
single
so this
person
time
here
we're just going to
either.
go ahead and head straight
Feeling
into
a
the
wave
facility.
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah. Remember it?
Stepping into his manager's
2485, I
office,
believe, wasn't
Stanley
it?
was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark
5-8?
secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Oh, 2845.
But of
I was
course,
close. I remembered
Stanley
all the
couldn't
numbers. I just
possibly
had them in
have
the wrong
known. Yet
order.
incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. he stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Alright, down we go. And like I said, this time we're going to go into the mind control facility and see what that ending is like. And we'll probably make that the last ending for the night. Okay.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Button. Oh, I guess that's how we're supposed to turn on the lights. Ooh, what? Oh, what does that say? Dang it! So that would be Ryan actually typing.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible
4, 2, 3.
secret did this
It's over
place
here
hold?
somewhere.
Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
432 is like somewhere right around there. Cameras. What's up here? Papers. More papers. Weird box thing. Employee observation protocol.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
432. There he is.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
Yep,
Stanley's
that would be
co-workers.
it.
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Trying to get over here. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so 4.
There's the
427. Where's 427? Right there. Right in the middle of the screen. Right there. There's me. $428. Okay. Face punch. Oh. Okay. I have no idea.
I wonder what.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yep. That's usually about how it goes.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I mean, he is a character in a video game, so...
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I've got a button there that says 5. Where I have a mind controls idle awaiting input. And then 2 giant buttons, on and off. Alright, so I can either shut it all off, turn it all on, or hit the number 5. So apparently I've only got on and off. Wait. Stanley died because they turned it off? Like, is it that kind of mind control?
Blackness and a
Yep.
rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Maybe.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
True.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
Okay, this is a
The
cutscene.
feeling
I've
of
got no
liberation.
control over this.
The immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Achievement unlocked. Beat the game. Of course. Because there are still more endings to be found. You guys, this game is called The Stanley Parable. It is free on Epic Launcher right now until Wednesday evening. So if you want to see the other endings for yourself, if you want to explore the behind the scenes museum more, listen to those outtakes from the narrator, that kind of stuff, please go and get the game for yourself. I appreciate it. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and call it there for tonight. I want to thank you guys all so much for coming and hanging out with me, tolerating all of the technical difficulties, like the switching of cameras because the other one kept freezing and shit. I am probably gonna continue playing this game because I think it's freaking hilarious, and I want to see what other endings there are. So I highly recommend you guys go and get it for yourself. We are gonna go and raid Goldtrix. I will be back on. Oh, he's playing. What is it? Doom Eternal, whatever it's called. It's the new Doom game. So if you like, shoot 'ems and exploding demons and stuff like that, you're really gonna enjoy it. But even if you don't, give Goldtrix a try because Goldtrix is a fantastic streamer. He's freaking hilarious. Beware, he is a mature streamer though, so there will be swearing and stuff. So if you're not into that, you might want to, take off fairly quickly. But we are going to go and raid Goldtrix. I will be back again Wednesday, probably with some more RimWorld, but that is not 100% guaranteed. So, I will see you Wednesday. Until then, you guys, I love you all, and game on.